Guess who? Yeah, so I'm sitting here with this painting because I finished my last one. I even varnished this one. Can you see the sheen maybe? I don't know. But it's really bright, and boy, look at the similarity. Isn't that odd? But anyway, it's so bright out. That light is all coming from the sun, the window. And when I turn on the overhead lights, you tell me which looks better. See, I think that causes too much glare. So if I turn this a little more that way, I think that's better with the lights off. So anyway, this is a painting I've had around for a while, hanging in the living room because it matches my living room being turquoise. But I painted it probably 6 or 8 or 10 years ago, I don't know. And I thought, I'm kind of tired of it. I paint a little differently now. So I'm going to gesso over the whole thing and use it to start something new. Okay? Like I can get your permission even. Alright, so somebody has joined us, but it doesn't tell me who it is. So whoever you are, just say hi. And then it'll show me your name down at the bottom. Alright, so I have a couple jars. I thought I had a big jug of gesso. Turns out to be white paint. I don't want to waste that much white paint. So I have little jars of gesso that I know is gesso because I labeled it. And it's gesso that I made because I have a recipe, and it's fun to make your own gesso. You can make it your own consistency. And it's a lot cheaper. So I have this jar, and I thought, well, it's a pretty big canvas. I don't know. Maybe I should look around for another jar full. And so I found this jar, which I have not labeled. It used to be gelato. These jars are really handy. But this one I really need to mix a little bit better. So I thought I could kind of mix and talk with you if anybody shows up. Now don't be jumping onto my shirt. It's getting there. It's kind of lumpy, but it could be textured. So what I was going to do is gesso over this whole painting, and then while it's wet, I can add some collage so that it's another layer. You can collage into gesso. You can collage into gel medium or glue. And if it's going to be an under layer, you can even use Mod Podge. I don't use Mod Podge typically because it yellows and it smells. And those of you that know me know that I am very smell sensitive. So I wonder if this is, it's still got a little bit of grit, but short of taking a blender to it, I don't mind the texture because it's just going to add, I have texture on here anyway where I used thick paint, heavy body paint. So what's a little more texture? Alright, I think I'm going to start with the small jar. Whoops. And I'm going to just pour it on. It's a little, it's a little gritty, but nothing like the other jar. So I'm going to do this. for a minute so that I can pour. I'm going to try and hold this. I know, right? Whoops. Oh, I probably should have got a brush ready. And I'm assuming it's going to take the whole thing of what was left in this jar. Yep. So I have this brush, from yesterday, sitting here. It's the silicone brush. So I'll use it as a spreader. And as soon as I get it to the point where it won't drip, I'll put it back up on the easel. I really loved this painting when I first did it. It was my first, some of you are going to laugh at this. It was my first foray into large-scale flowers. I'm going to put that right there. That was a nice big gesso booger. Okay. It's still pretty wet and drippy, but I'm going to see if I can... Let's see, I'll put it this way. There we go. Okay? Yeah. Alright, so I think I'm going to get this out to the edges. Yeah. Find time to check and see what I'm wearing to see if it can hold up to gesso. My recipe for gesso that I got off the internet somewhere uses plaster of Paris. And if you've ever used plaster of Paris, you know it is basically plaster dust. I don't know why it is called of Paris. Maybe it comes from Paris. I don't know. But one thing, you want to be really careful working with it because it is fine, fine, fine dust of plaster. And you don't want to inhale it and get that into your lungs. But I like it better than the recipe that uses baby powder. I don't understand that recipe, how it can use baby powder, but there is one out there. I've not used it, and I probably won't use it. Whoops. Okay, come on. Sit in the groove. I'm trying not to touch it because the plaster that's in it is really hard to clean off. I mean, you get it off, but it doesn't come off as easily as white paint. So typically I would, shoot. I just got it on my ring that I shouldn't even be wearing. All right, baby wipe. Fortunately, I got it all off really quickly. Therefore, I'm going to take off my ring, which I should have done to begin with. Okay. So, I think I have the recipe on either my Facebook page or my website or Instagram or YouTube, one of those. But it uses plaster of Paris, white paint, glue, and water. Those are the 4 ingredients. So everybody usually has 3 of those. Plaster of Paris you can literally get at Walgreens. And it comes in like a cardboard milk carton for $5. So it's really, I mean, you'll only use like maybe a cup of it. You'll have it forever. I have 2 cartons of it only because I was at my studio and I wanted to make some and my carton was at home and vice versa. So I'm set for life on plaster of Paris. And I usually make like what are those small jars, mason jars? Like, I think they're pint jars. Yeah, not even a quart. I make pint jars, and I might fill up 2 pint jars. But, yes, I know that makes a quart. But I don't like using quart jars because, hi, good morning. Hi, Gary. Hi, Judy. I don't like using quart jars because occasionally the plaster will cause the jar to stick. You know, the lid gets stuck. And I don't envision banging a quart jar on the edge of the counter, whereas I don't mind doing it to a pint jar. Because if it breaks open and it spills, there's less to clean up. That's never happened. It's just kind of my paranoia that someday it's going to do that. So, ooh, there goes more on my hands. So I have a good amount on here now. I like it. I'm loving the texture that it created just by picking up what was there before. So, yuck. There we go. I'll let this dry. And again, because it's my silicone brush, it will just crack and peel off so nicely. Yeah, and I just redid my fingernail polish. What was I thinking? But this stuff is like gonna probably be with me now for a couple days. It is just amazing. Plaster of Paris. Yeesh. All right. So, I had mentioned, if you're just joining us, that I wanted to collage into this wet gesso or texturize it. And I have a piece of tinfoil here that I folded up from something. And I'm just going to take part of it, fold this back up, and I'm going to scrunch this up a little bit. See, I can't waste things. And I just saw the coolest video this morning, recycling some other things that I'm going to share with you, maybe tomorrow or the next day, using a jelly pad. Okay, this is not as thick, because I only took part of it. It's not as thick as I wanted it to be. But I'm going to just kind of press it on. And it does leave kind of cool indentations of texture. Yeah, it's boring though. Okay, let's see. I'm looking in my little bag of things. That's not my typical bag of things. Let's look down here. Ooh. Next to where you're sitting, I have a bookshelf, sort of. Is this the same canvas that had the heart on it? No, Judy. This is a canvas, which you can rewatch the beginning later on, but this is a canvas that I originally painted big blue roses, turquoise roses. And I had it hanging in my living room for 4 or 5 years. And I loved it. Past tense, because it's gone. But, you know, that's how it goes. I got tired of it, and I do roses differently now, so why keep it, right? Alright, so I'm adding, the one with the heart. Oh, it's in the dining room. I'll have to show it to you. I turned the heart white, and then I added some black line work back into it because there had been some in the heart, and they disappeared when I put white paint over them. Okay, so I'm going to get a brush here, and let's see. I had, oh, there it is. So see, I had a tub that I opened up. This is gel matte. Okay. And so I'm going to just go over these pieces of book text That's kind of cool. Okay, don't get sidetracked. Too many squirrels. There we go. So I'm just kind of adhering them down. And because I have a little bit of white gesso on the brush now, I'm not going to dip it back into my gel medium. But I am going to stick it in water like right away. Because otherwise it will ruin this brush. Alright, so here's my... I reuse these plastic containers for water because they sit nice and flat without worry of tipping. And on the other hand of that, I use bottled water. I know it's weird. I only use old bottled water. If it's been sitting there a while and I haven't drank it, I don't remember if I've dipped brushes into it or not, so now it becomes paint water. Yeah. So you can consider that upcycling too, right? Hey, Steve. All right. So I've gotten the gesso on. I've gotten some text on. I'm looking around for my inks. I don't even know a color theme for this one yet. I just wanted to cover over the turquoise roses. Take a sip of coffee. You know what I might do? I have this nifty box of inks. And I think this box holds watercolor inks. Well, there's some acrylics in here too. But, of course I picked this one up. Let me get the lid on that medium so it doesn't start drying out. And then that can be a place where I set this box. And then I probably should put the lid on this... Oh, speaking of recycling, Judy, you'll like this. This is a jar that used to hold Talente gelato. Yes, we must recycle and upcycle. Okay, so this is homemade gesso that I ended up not needing, but it does need to get thinned out a little more anyway. All right, so I was looking at these inks. Let's see, this one's green, and this one is phthalo green, which is a really close sort of a teal color, I think. Alright, yeah, I'm just splattering it with the eyedropper that's in it. Ooh, that went a little farther than I thought it would. Good thing it's my art room. Eek. I gotta wipe that off. It landed on one of my paintings. I'm sorry. Oh, crap. Okay. Oh, shoot. This one's gonna have to get rematted because it didn't have glass on the... over the... And you know, interestingly enough, it splattered on the mat, but not on the painting. And this is one of my paint skin paintings, so I'm really glad that it didn't. But I'll have to put a new mat on it. Okay, and there's a whole bunch on the wall. Sure, that wipes off. And there's a glass. Okay. Don't splatter quite so hard, or save the splattering for when I'm in my studio, maybe. Except I'm going to do it again, but more carefully. So, earlier, before I started this morning, I was talking with my husband, and he gave me this neat idea. Because I wanted to do a piece where I had to sand back So I want to do like several layers and of different colors and textures and things. I'm trying to be careful now, which is totally against my grain. So several layers of color, and then sanding back to see some of it. And I've wanted to do that for a long time. Let's see, did I use this one? Yeah, I did. Okay, here's purple. So I'm going to have this layer be the color splatter layer, and then I'll figure out some other layers. This one doesn't want to splatter very much. Get in there, darn it. It's also very dark, so you can't hardly see it. I can't hardly see it, and I'm up next to it. There we go. You know, I'm kind of liking it already. I don't know if you know, that always happens. You get somewhere and you go, ooh, I like that. In fact, I'm going to turn it so that some of these, oh, and that will protect the stuff behind a little better too. Woo! Okay, we're safe. I'm hoping I don't get anything back there, because I have a shelf behind here that has like all of the cards and postcards that so many of you have sent to me that I just love looking at them. And so I just keep putting them on this shelf. And I don't want to get any drips on those. So maybe I'll just put a few drips. Come on. Yeah. I like it now. Let's see. Oops, yeah, you're right. Oops is right. Okay, this is silver. I don't know how well that will show up. I think it's time to turn this again. Oh yeah, I did one similar to that one time. Oh, this is alcohol ink. Oh, what time is it? I was expecting somebody to come and help me with something. Let me look here. I'm getting too lost. It's 8:40. That's who it is. Okay. I'm going to have to let us go for now. Is this the same canvas head? No. No, no, no. That is looking cool. I know, right? So I'm going to let it dry. I'm going to leave it right here because I have to go outside and help somebody load something into my car. And then I'll be off to the gallery for the day. So thanks for checking in. And I will be back tonight. What day is this? Friday? Saturday. It's Saturday. I never know anymore. I'll be back tonight sometime around 7 Central Time. We'll see how close I can get to that. So check back in, okay?